UNSCRIPTED, and we're here with the WhiteWater youth staff team, and we're just going to talk about how you can be a hero by serving others. Okay, so I have an icebreaker for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather bathe with snakes?
Second one.
That was for you.
He's like Indiana Jones.
Nope, that's not happening.
Climb the Empire State Building.
Bathe with snakes.
Easy.
Empire State Building.
Bathe with snakes.
Empire State Building, 100%.
No.
No, yeah, easy.
No. Heights suck.
Y'all are
I
crazy.
just cried coming down from a ladder, so no.
I mean, I did too, but I don't want to be in a bath with snakes.
No.
You guys should have seen them
What
climbing
kind of
up the
snakes?
ladders today. It was kind of hysterical.
Snakes
Here's the
are
thing.
from the
What kind of
devil.
snakes?
With the Empire State Building, you
they
can
can
control
be
that.
black
You can't
snakes.
control the snakes.
Am
Could you handle black snakes?
Don't care.
Here's the thing. You can control yourself on the Empire State Building. You can't control the snakes.
You know how much wind?
Wait, am I
and, like,
climbing
body
the outside
strength
of the Empire
that it
State
would-
Building?
Yes.
Like, just-
Then no.
just-
Yeah,
She didn't
definitely not.
specify. We could have
Just a
just
really
climbed the
good
steps.
exercise. On
Yeah, am I like walking this? Even then, I'd probably still pick
all
the
the way up
snakes.
to like the
That's
top of the.
Probably one of the
Yeah,
easiest,
bath full of snakes,
easiest
it could be
questions I've ever
Can I
had.
take
Like
can I take a break in
big
between and get like a
Oh, that's
refreshments?
terrible. That Lexi's got another good point. Like a bath full of like a lot of little snakes, or just a bath full of 2 giant snakes.
Oh heck no.
A
Either
bath
one.
full of like
Either
30
one.
big
Bath
snakes.
full of gardener snakes.
No.
Quentin's like, no.
I don't know the difference.
They're
Nope.
really tiny. Icebreaker.
Okay, so this week we're talking about what does it mean to serve, and heroes serve. So what to you does it mean to serve?
I don't know. When I think of serving, I just think of trying to be authentic and just care for people in ways that that is needed. I don't think it always has to be like one thing. We always think serving looks one way, but it's just truly about caring about people and doing it through the gospel and sharing the gospel and the kingdom in any way possible, just by caring about people and putting others before yourself. I think is the biggest thing. Just making sure that you are not the first thing that is like on your mind when it comes to serving. That it's other people and how you care about them.
That's great. I love that. I love how you put it into a perspective of it's not just these big ordeals of just going out of your way to do something big for someone else, but it's caring for someone in the moment. How does Jesus do that? How does that reflect Jesus and his ministry?
Yeah, I think that when you think about serving someone, I think your mind immediately goes to if you are from a church, you think, what am I volunteering for? What am I giving? What am I this? What am I that? Where if you look at the gospel and you watch Jesus' life, you don't see a whole lot of that, but what you do see is him giving his heart, giving his self to people. And I think true serving is like true just sacrifice, giving and loving someone. So I think when you ask yourself, how should I serve? Well, I think you should start by loving people like Jesus did, because when you start by loving, you're going to naturally just serve them out of your heart. And so I think that from my experience and of serving and just doing it, that's where it comes from. Just comes from loving people, and it doesn't always look like giving them something or doing something for them, but it's just being there for them. And we see Jesus did that all the time. He was just there. He was present in people's lives, and I think that's probably one of the best ways you can just serve.
Yeah, and also I think that, like a little bit off of Quentin's point, what Jesus was really good at was like reading other people, and he was really good at identifying their unique need. And so for us, it's just the first question that we should be asking ourselves about the people that are in our life. So like here, we have the 4 Our Street or For the One student ministry. We do One Life. And that should be a question that you ask first and foremost, is like, what is the unique need of like my street? Or what's the unique need? What's your unique need that I can help fulfill? Or what's the school's unique need that we can help fulfill? What's our community's unique need? What's this church's unique need that I can help provide? And like he said, it doesn't have to be small. It doesn't have to be huge, but it can be either one. Something small can turn huge, or vice versa. You could think it's huge and it could be small, but every movement is actually, I think Jesus had in mind that The kingdom isn't future only, but it's a present now kingdom as well. And so he knew that every single thing he did for somebody else, every time that he gave a little bit of himself, it's to help fulfill the present now kingdom, which is awesome.
Okay, so when we're talking for the one and talking about being for our street and being one life and just serving others and doing things for people around us and loving people, what does that take? Like, we know what the world tells us, but like, what does it really take to serve someone else and serve people around you?
Honestly, going a little deeper on that, I feel like it could be kind of simple sometimes. Like sometimes we overcomplicate it and we're like, we have to do these big things, or we have to do like, like the big things and be super grand about it, and we don't see like these smaller things on the side. Like we're like, oh, we're only really serving if we do like these mission trips or with these certain people, but like we can even be serving like each other and our team in small ways, and that kind of goes off just like knowing each other and getting to know that environment. So like we serve each other just by like getting to know each other better, like getting better in our EQ, and like, oh well, Caitlin likes this certain thing, so I can serve her better by like loving her in this way. So like even with our team we could serve that way. So I think that was a good point to bring up when serving as well. Like it doesn't have to be this super complicated thing. Like it could be as simple as serving the person next to you.
Yeah, that's great, guys. And I think it really flows great into the next question is, what is the difference between serving others and caring for others? Like, there's a fine line. So, like, what do you see as the difference between serving and caring?
Well, I think that we can serve a ton. We can serve a lot of people numerically or quantity-wise, but it's really, really hard to deeply care about people. So, like, naturally, we want to care for as many people as we can, and we think that that's serving. But at some point, it's impossible. Like, you circle yourself in a group for care. Like if we decided this is our group of care, this is our span of care, or I can deeply care for like 6 to 10 people. Like can I really? Like 6 to 10, even like 10 is a lot, 12 is a lot. Jesus did 12. That was like his deep care circle, but he served a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like he did service for a lot of different people, but he cared for few. And so I think it's important for us to distinguish the difference between the both. Because we have to know the people. It's not that we don't serve our care unit, but we distinguish the difference in I know who I'm caring for, who I always text and I always come back to, and I always am in communication for, always trying to serve, and then serving is a little bit more generic in my mind.
Okay, so we're talking about, I love the topic of just having your core group of people that you lean on and you care for and you serve each other in the way that you care about each other. So in your way of like being with and doing life with and just caring for each other, like getting deeper, like this quarantine time has really just given us tons of opportunities to care about the people that we're closest with. Like, who are our closest friends that we're reaching out to, our family that we're with, maybe friends that we live with. What are practical ways that you can day to day serve these people in a caring way?
Well, I think it kind of goes along with what Reed was just saying, where you can serve a lot of people, but you can only like deeply care about so many. And I think a way you can serve people is just by like contacting them to see how they're doing. I know I've had people I haven't talked to in months just like text me over this to see how I'm doing, and that's just like a small checkup to see like how are you doing, how can I help you, like what are the ways like I could be praying for you, and because you can add those things to your prayer list or whatever you decide to do, and how you care for people or serve people, and the people that are like your core people that you care for, like Reed was talking about, just being in more like constant contact with them through ways that we can right now, because it's really difficult, especially if you want to be out and see all those people that you want to, but you can't. So it's just like constant communication. I think communication is key with most relationships that you care about.
Yeah, I would say like don't be that kind of person who someone else has to text you first. So often, like I'm always the one texting somebody that I haven't talked to in a while, and like it sometimes gets annoying and it like gets in my head. I'm like, oh, I should just wait for them to text me first, but like it's kind of silly. Don't play those games. I think that the more that you kind of like play that in your mind, just kind of the more bitter you get towards people, and like the more you just kind of like stray away. And I think just having that open mind, open heart to just like be like you reach out, like, and I think that's one of the big differences that like we believe other than the world, because the world will tell you like, no, like let them like talk to you first, like you don't deserve them, this that like just want to, but like Jesus teaches you, hey, you reach out, nobody just like owes you anything, like, and I think that's the kind of difference we got to have in our mind, just like, hey, if we love these people, let's reach out. Like, it doesn't matter, you know, if they've ignored you all quarantine.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that, as I've looked into this and like worked on this, is I think what I found is that it's not I'm gonna go and I'm gonna care about people today and I'm gonna check in with these people. It's more of a day-to-day mindset. Like you're constantly working on how can you be caring more for the people around you, and how can you be more intentional all the time instead of just doing it like every other Saturday of the month you're gonna text 5 people, which is great, like check in, but just like keeping that constant like intentional in your mind, like how are you going to reach out?
Like plan it out, write a to-do list for like some people, and other people I'm just like, oh, I see this person, or like honestly I feel like God puts those people on cards during the week, during times, like there's been people I've been reaching out to where I'm just like, oh, I haven't talked to you in forever, like where did this come from? But like just making sure like I act on that, and I'm like, hey, like haven't talked to you, like actually putting that into action and being like faithful and true to that.
Yeah, following those sparks and like following where God's leading you in those intentions instead of being so concrete and formative about it, just being so just like going with whatever God's putting in front of you. I think
Yeah,
it's great.
and even the power of writing something out or saying it out loud. Like you should be able to, we say this about One Life all the time, you should be able to say the people in your span of care, like these are the people that I'm going to love. And you should be able to name them. Like if you need to write them down, write down a list of like, I'm gonna try to serve as many people as I can. But these are the people that I'm deeply committed to loving and caring for. It's all the more powerful.
All right, so I think this week we really talked about just like serving others and carrying each other's in a more intentional way every day. Reach out to us, let us know if you need anything this week. We'll catch you next time.